Hello class. In this video we're going to start to think about our text as part of our template because text in a portfolio is very important, and one of the great things about InDesign is it handles text very nicely in many different ways. And what we want to do is we basically want to set up guides for us to use for text, so that way every portfolio page uses text exactly the same way. And by that I don't mean that every single thing should be exactly looking the same, but you should have categories of text that are the same from page to page. And so I'm going to show you this here on my portfolio that we were looking at earlier. What I really have in my portfolio is I have a project name always, and I have a location, and I have a description of what happens in this. And then in class we'll talk about other things you might need. You probably in a school portfolio would need what class it is in. The description usually tells you a summary of the project as well as what you did in the project, especially if it's a group project. It can be pretty brief. You might also have drawing labels. This particular one I pulled up doesn't have drawing labels. It's pretty self-evident what the different images are, but you might have like elevations, street section, labels like that. So we can see that in the three classes of text I have here, title, location, and description, they're all different. They have different colors, they have different sizes, they could be different fonts. I'll talk about in classes suggestions for each because they vary based on whether you're going to view this electronically or not, and you'll have to make decisions. But there's essentially three kinds on here, and they look different. If we scroll down to the next page, we see that I've got the same sort of category of three: title, location, and descriptive text. This title looks exactly like the title on the last page. The location looks exactly like the location on my last page, and description looks exactly like the description on my last page. So I have consistent categories from page to page, and I want to show you how to do that, sort of easily monitor that in InDesign. And to do that we're going to use paragraph styles. Now my paragraph styles tool isn't up here, so yours probably won't be either. So I'm going to go to Windows, and I'm going to go to Styles, and I'm going to go to Paragraph Style. And we can see right now I really don't have any, it just says basic paragraph. And just to create this, I'm going to come in and I'm going to start some text. So I'm just going to click the text button and draw a box, and I know I'm just drawing anywhere on screen, and I'm just going to sort of type some stuff in. You could type in whatever you want to, a project title, whatever you want. You can see that this is indeed my text. And when I have my text up, I can go ahead and I can make any kind of suggestions. I'm not going to go through details of this. Here's font size, justification. I can change my color here. I'll just do this really quick. I'll change color to green just to be quick and easy and make a distinction. But you want to spend time thinking about all this. What is the right font? What is the right size? Is it bold? Is it justified? What color is it? Is it underlined? All of these things should be thought about for each of your categories of text, and you want to set it. And then once you have it sort of set on screen, what you can do is you can select a piece of text there, and you can hit this under the paragraph styles. You can hit this new button, and we can see I got paragraph style new, right, which is the one I just made. Now if I double click on it, what I can do is I can change the name. So I could call this, I'm just going to call it descriptive text for now, because I left this font small, and that'll usually be the case rather than a title, which might be large. And then you'll see what I can do is, if I want to, I can go and change any of those things that we saw up here when I made the text now. So I could come through and say, okay, well let me change the font size. Let me change it to I don't know. I'm just going to pick one that might be here. I have no idea what Kristen font is, but we're going to find out here. And let me change the size from 12 to 11. And I will say okay. And we can see that my font changed in that location. I could change the color. Obviously, this font I had never used before. I don't necessarily recommend it for a portfolio, but it's sort of funky and interesting, so we'll keep it for now for this demonstration. But you can see it changed it that way. And we can see it says descriptive over there. The reason why this is beneficial, because I might go on when I go to make my portfolios, I might go and add all my text that I want, and we can see it by default sort of goes to basic text. But if I come over and hit descriptive, boom, it automatically changes. And again, if I don't like the way this text is, if I don't want to change that font, I can come over to any of these settings. I'll go to basic characters, and I can change the font to something else. I don't know, Harrington. Haven't seen that, but there we go, and now the font has changed to this new font, which again is a little overly scriptive, but it changed it both there and there. So it'll change it in your entire portfolio, which could be, you know, many pages long. So it's very sort of convenient on that front. And you want to go ahead and do the same thing for all the kind of categories you have. So if this is your descriptive, you might come through, you certainly are going to need a title. So we might call this title, right? And this title is going to be probably a larger font size. You know, 18 I'm not saying is correct. You want to experiment with it. Again, the fonts can be different. Maybe I'll make this one Arial. Between, like, it's okay to mix and match here, and you might set other settings, and when it's good to go, you just hit the new button. Creates a new paragraph style. I can double click on it and call this my title one, and there we go. And now I have my title set, and I can go ahead and do this and set my title on all the pages. And so again, the ones you generally want: description, title. You'll probably need you might want a class name, and you might have one for captions or something like that, where you say first floor plan. So those are sort of 4 categories. They can all be slightly different. They want to work together, but they can be different. But all of those categories want to be the same from page to page. So that's why you'll set up your paragraph styles. And again, as one last description, that's what I have in my portfolio, where I have my project titles. It's sort of large and it's in green. I have my project location, which is a slightly smaller, same font, but black. I have my description font, which is possibly, I can't tell if it's a different font or not, but certainly a smaller size. And I have my heading, which I used for captions on some page, which doesn't exist on this one, but that's okay. I've used it from time to time, and that's the same from page to page. So, so good luck setting that up. I know it's a step students often want to skip, but I think it can make editing your portfolio really easy in the long run and nice and consistent. So go ahead and do that. I want to see this done. Thanks.